question number 19 with Lotto, we're going to have to use Pythagorean theorem. So this is going back to geometry stuff. So we're going to draw this out. So as we read this, we're going to draw like a diagram to help us visualize this. So Lotto begins at his back door. So we're going to say this is his back door here. All right. And he is going to go 8 yards east. So remember, if you know your, you need to know your directions, right? However you memorize it, I always memorize it as never eat slimy worms, but I think you guys have learned it a different way. So we're starting here, we're going 8 yards east, so this is 8, and then we go 6 yards north, so 6 yards north, and then we go 12 yards east, and then we go 5 yards north, all right? And then this is going to be the barn door. All right, so let's go ahead and let's total up how far he's walked just doing it that way. So we have 8 plus 6 plus 12 plus 5. So if we add all that up, we end up with a total of 31 yards. All right, okay, so now it's asking about how many yards less would he walk if he could walk directly from the back door to the barn door. All right, so if we're walking directly, I'm going this way, right? So I'm just going straight across, and I want to know what the distance is of that red line. So in order to find that, I can see that I've created these two triangles, right? I have this triangle here in that green, and I have this triangle here in pink. So now what I'm going to do is I need to find the hypotenuse of each one of those triangles, and I would add that together to figure out how far it takes him to walk from the back door to the barn door in a direct route. All right, so starting with the green one first, remember Pythagorean theorem is a squared plus b squared equals c squared, meaning c is your hypotenuse or your longest side. So if I'm looking here, I have 8 and I have 6. So I have 8 squared plus 6 squared equals c squared. So when I do 8 squared plus 6 squared on my calculator, I get 100 equals c squared. We've talked about this before. To get rid of a squared, we take the square root of both sides. So I have 10 equals c. So this distance right here is 10. All right, now looking at the pink triangle. So now we have 12 and we have 5. So I have 12 squared plus 5 squared equals c squared. When I take 12 squared plus 5 squared, that gives me 169 equals c squared. Take the square root of both sides, and I get 13 equals c. So this side is 13. So now, if I'm going to total this up, I have 10 and 13, which is going to give me 23 yards. So obviously, walking a direct route is a lot faster, a lot less yards than if we had to walk east and the north, and then the east and the north. So now the question is asking, how many yards less? Okay, notice that the two numbers that we got were 31 yards and 23 yards. Notice those are both answers over here on the left, but we're going to mark those out because those are just the answer to the middle of the question, not the actual answer to the whole entire question. So about how many yards less would he walk? So less meaning we're going to have to subtract this. So if I take 31 minus 23, if I subtract that, that gives me 8 yards. So he's saving 8 yards by going a direct route. So then my answer is A.